Hello, welcome to the Cricket Draft. If you're new around here, subscribe to the YouTube channel. There are loads of videos coming in the build up to the County Championship in 2025. Drop us a like on the video. You can find it on audio platforms as well, and you can follow the Cricket Draft on Instagram. You can follow it on Twitter, or X as it's called now, TikTok, where all the other content is going to be posted. My name is Dan. I am your host, and I'm delighted to say that I'm joined by Sussex captain John Simpson. John, how are you?
Yeah, good. Thanks, Dan. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm excited for 25. It feels like the county season isn't far away.
Yeah, it's come around very quickly. I know didn't sort of feel 5 minutes ago since 2024 season finished, and yeah, it's as I said, it's come around quickly now, and yeah, we're sort of 8 weeks away from what ball one in the County Championship. So yeah, exciting times. So yeah, other than that, it's yeah, at least it's a nice day.
Absolutely. I think that's what makes it feel like cricket's getting a little bit closer. The fact that the sun's actually come out for the first time this year. But what's your winter been like, John? Have you been in the UK? Have you managed to spend some time overseas anywhere? What is it like for you at the moment?
No, I've basically been here since sort of November. Obviously, a little bit of time off post season, which was nice just to sort of down tools and yeah, get some rest and recovery, and then basically just been back in training with. There's only actually 5 or 6 of the lads around, so it's actually very quiet at the minute at the indoor school in Hove. So in a way, it's quite a blessing in disguise, especially when you got 22 guys during the season, and some of them talking absolute nonsense. So it's quite nice, yeah, just to have a bit of time away. But yeah, most of our boys are away, which is exciting. So they're all around the world playing some cricket, and then the likes of myself, Ollie Robinson, who else? Danny Lamb, Henry Crocombe, Charlie Tier. Yeah, that's pretty much the guys who are around. So yeah, very quiet here, but we're hoping to get away in the next few weeks to Cape Town for a bit of sun and get some outdoor training, which would be nice.
It sounds well earned. And after the success of last year as well, and got past a huge, massive congratulations from the cricket draft onto yourself and to Sussex for winning and gaining promotion back to Division One. Um, what did you think? Obviously, it was your first year at Hove, wasn't it, last year? What do you think the main contributing factors were to the success that came to the South Coast?
Yeah, obviously, yeah, joining Sussex from Middlesex was obviously a huge decision for me, but yeah, I guess last year was a nice reward for moving down to the South Coast. Yeah, look, I think there's numerous factors. Obviously having Ollie Robinson around for most of the season, obviously backed up with Jaden Seales for those sort of first 7 games, and then obviously, overseas wise, we've been pretty lucky. Obviously, having Daniel Hughes and Nathan McAndrew to come in, and then followed that by Jad Abedankat. So overseas wise, I think Fabi's been pretty shrewd on that, and we've got match winners and 2 world class opening bowlers from either end, and I think you add that with the emergence of Sean Hunt and Henry Croker, and then the job that Danny Lamb and Finn Hudson Prentice have done in that period. In those periods when when the ball's got a little bit older, they've done the hard yards, and then yeah, it's been amazing to sort of see the growth in those boys, and then obviously Jack Carson, who had an unbelievable season last year. I think he had 52, 53 wickets, which was amazing return. For one so young, and I'm really excited to see how he progresses this winter. And obviously, I've asked him to do some pretty hard roles throughout last year. And he's always stuck his hand up and produced match-winning performances. Which is great to see, and then obviously complemented with James Coles as well with the ball. So yeah, look, I think we've got a real nice balanced attack. We've got match winners, game winners, which is half the battle really. And when you look back to that, obviously last year, and um, getting runs on the board is obviously a big key, and getting the ball, giving the ball to our bowlers, with runs on the board is always a nice thing. But I guess the real pleasing thing was, when we've been under pressure with the bat, we've gone on to make big scores, and then obviously when we've been under pressure with the ball, we've managed to find a way to bowl teams out, which is really exciting for me. And obviously, we're going into Division 1 this year. It's obviously going to be more of a challenge, but I think the blueprint from last year is very much the same, and I think it's just really important how we handle those pressure moments in Division 1. I think we I think we're a really exciting team, across the board. We've got a lot of talented lads and a nice blend of youth and experience. So I think if we can keep everybody fit, keep everybody excited, but also trying to I keep talking a lot about trying to drive standards. Everything that we do. It's not just having another net. It's not just having another field. We're not just hitting balls, for hitting balls' sake. It's actually doing that to try and get better. And I think, if we continue to do that, I think come the end of the season could be quite an exciting time for us.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you kind of answered my next question there, which is great. That just saves me a few more words, because I was going to follow on and ask you about the blueprint going into 2025 and does much change. And you've essentially, I think, covered off pretty much everything that I wanted to kind of talk about on that one. So that's
Yeah,
great. Thank
that's
you very
good.
much.
Yeah,
Uh,
look, I think like as I said, the blueprint's there. It's there's no getting away from it. It's going to be a bigger challenge, but I think this group's really ready for it. I think the cricket, as I said, that we played last year, to get 200, I think 31 points, it was an incredible effort, and that's not just down to the 11 guys taking the field every game. That's a squad of 15 or 16 guys, and I think that's a real testament to the quality that we have in the changing room, and not having to rotate that many players is also a great sign. But yeah, obviously, bigger challenges lie ahead, and as I said, it's going to be how we handle those pressure moments and really sort of not back down to I guess in a way to some of the bigger sides and really take them on head on.
yeah, and those 15 or 16 guys led by yourself and Paul Farbrace. He's how you mentioned about the fact that obviously he's been quite shrewd with his overseas signings and the players that he's brought in. I think the other thing that's must be so complementary to Sussex as a county and him is the fact that so many of them have re-signed for 2025 as well. But what's it been like working with Paul Farbrace as a head coach?
Yeah, look, he's a great character, Fabi. Anybody who knows him around the traps, he's like I said, he's a great character, a lot of funny stories, but he just wants the best for Sussex. And the great compliment is he doesn't suffer fools. He wants guys to improve. I think he's desperate to win. And I think that was one of the big things when moving down here. His ambition and will and drive to win and succeed. That was that really matched what I wanted to do. And I think the way that he that handles some of the younger lads, and he's got he gets the best out of them. I think that's the real crux of where he is. That's where he's such a great coach, is the ability to sort of keep improving players and keep trying to get 1, 2, 3% out of some of the older guys and some of the younger guys. How do we again keep trying to maximize their potential? And working alongside of him, has been great. He's had a couple of days when he's, thrown his toys out of the pram, which is great. And the less days of those, I guess he can have, the better. And my relationship has been fantastic. He's made it so easy for me just to come in and do my thing. And he's always got a very balanced view of team selection. So yeah, he's been absolutely brilliant. And as you say, he's overseeing a real a real stronghold in Sussex cricket, especially like I said, the amount of young players that are now coming through. I think is a real testament to the club as well, because I think there's 8, 9, 10 of them that have all come through age group cricket together, which is incredible, to be honest. It really, when I came down, for the first few sessions, you could really sense that they've all grown up together, they're all really close, and culturally, that's exactly what you want. And you know, I'm excited to see what potential where their career is going to go. And if I can play a very small part in that, that'd be amazing. But I'm excited to hopefully see some of these guys go on and play international cricket at some stage.
Honestly, John, you are turning out to be the best person to interview because you're leading these questions in brilliantly. Let's talk about these young players then that you're currently captain of. And we've mentioned Jack Carson and James Coles, who have already had England Lions recognition. Charlie Tier as well, who's been playing for Scotland. But of the youngsters that are coming through the ranks at Sussex, which of those are you? I suppose you can't really kind of pick your favourites, but which are you most excited about? What kind of careers do you think can they go the whole way? Can they be representing the full England national side and Charlie Tier obviously continue with Scotland?
Yeah, obviously Charlie's had a real a real good couple of winters now with Scotland, and obviously he's done pretty well, and more that he can more international cricket and exposure he can have, that's going to be great for him and great for us, and he is going to continually improving and get better. So he's an exciting talent. Yeah, as I said, Carson's obviously away this winter, but 53 wickets last year was an outstanding return for what, as I said, one so young. We always know with spinners in England, it's always one of the talking points, isn't it? But as I said, his reward last year was outstanding. Not just with the ball, he hits crucial runs with the bat as well, and then obviously he's catching. So he's great to have around. He's got a great cricket brain as well, and just wants to do well. And Coles, he's been away with the Lions, so again, you kind of see those three guys, have had sort of high level exposure, which is great. But I mean, it'd be remiss of me to sort of not talk about Tom Clark's, kind of got the world at his feet. He's 6'3". He's a big, strong lad. I mean, he can bat 1 to 5, 6. He's got a golden arm with the ball. Tom Haynes. I'm excited to see what Haynes does this year. Obviously, if he starts the season well, this is going to be obviously his first taste of Division One cricket. So, all I ever say to him is I just want him to go out there and play his natural attacking game, because the amount of times he got us off to an absolute flyer last year was outstanding. And I said I have no issue. The only issue I have with him is if he gets 10 off 70 or 80 balls, I want him to take the game to the opposition. That's his strength. He was he as I said, he's a great talent, and could be one to go on and potentially fill that void open in the batting. But as I said, Henry Crocombe, Sean Hunt, Bertie Foreman's an exciting spinner. Archie Lennon, Ollie Carter, we've got, as I said, you got a plethora of young talent, and it's just trying to, and this is, the hard thing is trying to maximize their potential and make them realize how good they can be. And as I said, if I can play a small part in that, that'd be, really, it'd be amazing. But yeah, we're in a nice place with all these younger guys, and for me, it's just a case of how do we keep getting them better. It'd be amazing, in whether that's 2, 3, 4, 5 years to hope, if I am still going or I'm not, or I'm back in the deck chair watching, see these guys go on and perform on the big stage, which there's no doubt that they can do. It's just a case of just building that confidence, building their skill, and putting in performances.
There's worse places to watch cricket than a deck chair down at Hove as well. So it sounds like a pretty good retirement plan that you've got working out there. So those players,
Not
just yet. No, not just yet. But as I say, there's worse places to be watching cricket. Speaking of those players that have already had international honours, though, and the first answer to this question could be quite short, but the second answer could be slightly more elongated. But what are the chances Sussex fans are going to see Ollie Robinson, Jofra Archer, and Jayden Seales together on the field for Sussex this year? And what a blessing that would be as a captain to have those kind of weapons in your arsenal.
Yeah, it's hopefully we get the opportunity to take that as a three-pronged 3-man attack. But yeah, obviously Jofra's got his IPL commitments, but then once that's over, hopefully we can get him, Ollie, and Jayden on the Parker. I'm sure it'll draw quite a large crowd in down at Hove. The fans down there down here have been absolutely amazing. So it'd be great to have those three running in from either end. But yeah, obviously, I know, I've spoken to Joffre. I know he's definitely keen to play some red ball cricket. Obviously, that's going to depend obviously on the ECB and their workload management with him. But if we get that opportunity to pick him, alongside whether that's Jaden, whether that's Nathan McAndrew, or and Ollie Robinson, then I guess it's going to be pretty exciting as a captain, but also to stand behind the stumps too as well.
Yeah, you just got to decide which one you're going to disappoint and not give the new ball to, I suppose. rather you than me kind of picking the pieces up on that one. But
Yeah.
wicket keeping in particular, though, you mentioned about how exciting it would be stood behind the stumps for those guys. England's at the moment, they've got to have the best stock of wicket keepers possibly in the history of the game of any nationality right now, with Jamie Smith, the current kind of England test keeper, Ollie Robinson, not the aforementioned, the other Ollie Robinson that kind of flew out to New Zealand, Jordan Cox that was out there before, Ben Foakes, yourself, Joss Butler, Johnny Bairstow. Um, do you agree? Is it the best that wicket keeping's ever been? And does that have what does it have as an impact for the likes of James Rew that's down at Somerset? And I mean, is that going to be a case of just biding your time and scoring as many runs as you can whilst all of these guys are around?
Yeah, it's an incredibly strong position at the minute, as you mentioned. There's so many good wicketkeeper batsmen out there playing county cricket and international cricket at the minute. There's Jamie Smith, who's such an exciting talent. Ollie Robinson, the same. But as you say, that's not even to going into whether that's Johnny Bairstow, whether that's Joss Butler, whether that's Phil Salt. There's just a plethora of really, really good wicketkeeper batsmen now. So, and as you say, I don't think it probably hasn't been as strong as this ever. Every county seems to have a really high end wicketkeeper batsman. In terms of that, it's James Drew's obviously had a fantastic couple of years, and for him, it's just about putting as many runs on the board and keep knocking that door down for as long as possible. But yeah, in a way, it's as sort of when Jack Russell was around, obviously Alex Stewart was around, and then obviously as you've seen, obviously when I'm around and then folks are around, obviously you got Joss Butler and Johnny Bairstow around. There's always going to be talking points around the spot, but Jamie Smith come in and done an unbelievable job. I think especially for the way that Brendan and Ben want to play cricket, he fits that remit beautifully. And as you say, those innings that he played throughout the summer have been as exciting as I think I've ever seen from any wicketkeeper batsman. And that's saying something for one of my heroes, which is Adam Gilchrist. So obviously he's still young and still learning his trade as well. So, he's going to get better. As you say, Ollie Robinson's had a brilliant couple of years, moving up to Durham. And, he'll be knocking on the door. But yeah, there's just so many good wicketkeeper batsmen around at the country. And, folks, he would obviously be very disappointed, but, he's a world-class wicketkeeper batsman. There's no doubts about that. He'll be desperate to get back in that team. And as you say, you look around at the other counties, whether that's Ben Brown, whether that's, Chris Cook at Glamorgan, Ben Cox, obviously, Les is a brilliant wicketkeeper. Alex Davis has obviously been away with the Lions as well. So, yeah, it's sort of, it just seems to be a never-ending list at the minute. So it's sort of very hard thing to sort of pick, who's going to be, the incompetent. But as I say, Jamie Smith's done an incredible job so far, and I only see him getting better, which is exciting. And obviously playing at the Oval is obviously a great place to play cricket, so it's going to be interesting to see how that's managed, especially when he's available to play for Surrey.
Yeah, the union's getting stronger, which we love to see.
It's getting stronger, but it's also getting a lot bigger as well. It always seems to be 2 or 3 or even 4 wicket keepers on every staff now. So we seem to be hopefully one day we'll be outnumbering all the batters and bowlers, so everybody can keep wicket.
Won't be long. Imagine the number of long sleeve shirts in production at that point. You love to see it.
Yeah, I mean that's always sort of the kit man's worst nightmare, isn't it? How many shirts do you want? 6, but I want 4 long sleeve and 2 short. Oh.
Keep them
It's
on their toes. Why
yeah,
not?
absolutely.
You've got the hardest job in the game, John. You're allowed the shirts that you want. Let's talk about the cricket draft. We're going to take away pretty much all of the rules that you have to kind of deal with if you were to use the app. Basically, the budget is the most kind of constricting thing. So you've got as much money as you want to play with. You can have a maximum of 3 players from any one county, and they need to be split in a way between 3 and 5 batters, 2 and 4 rounders, or 1 wicket keeper, and then 3 and 5 batters. And then I'll press you for a captain at the end once you've put your 11 together. You did say before we started recording, you do kind of wing these things, which I love. So I'm going to hand straight over to you and just wing through this kind of county dream 11 that you're going to put together for us.
Yeah, this is very much not my strength, but yeah, I'm gonna wing this team. Openers, I mean, there's so many good ones, but I'm gonna probably go with a very good friend of mine, Sam Robson. Obviously, played a lot of cricket with him at Middlesex, and yeah, obviously, he just seems to get runs. Well, he gets runs every year because and I think he'll be due for another big season. I mean, I could have chose Adam Lyde. Obviously, I played a lot of cricket with the Northern Superchargers, and also representing Lancashire through my age group stuff. I played against Yorkshire a lot, and Lyde was always on the opposite team to me. So yeah. I mean, Keane Jennings, Rory Burns, Alex Lees. I mean, there's just so many good opening batters at the minute, but I'm going to go Sam Robson, and then I'm going to go a little bit outside of the box. He had a brilliant year in his first year for Essex last year, and that'd be Dean Elgar. So they'd be my 2 opening batters. Number 3, I think I'm going to go signed for Middlesex, Lewis Dupoy.
Yeah.
Another prolific batsman. Again, could have gone maybe Joe Clark or maybe Tom Abel. But yeah, I think I went going to go with Lewis Dupoy on that front. 4, probably go David Bedingham. I think he'd probably be a very popular choice and high choice in the cricket draft. So again, prolific, gets runs year in year out, and not just hundreds. Talking about big daddy hundreds as well. So yeah, so he'd be my number 4. 5, I'm gonna go probably Ryan Higgins, probably one of the best all-rounders in the country. Again, gets you runs and wickets, exactly what you want. Again, yeah, obviously brilliant cricket. I spent a lot of time with him at Middlesex, and yeah, just know how good a cricketer he is. 6 would probably be Liam Dawson.
There's not a great deal of variety through the middle here with the 5 and 6 with Ryan Higgins and Liam Dawson, and with the 3 teams that we've made so far.
Oh, really?
They're 3 of the most perfect cricketers you could possibly pick for the cricket draft.
Yeah, again, yeah, Dawson's obviously been a brilliant cricketer. Yeah, obviously what he offers you with the bat and the ball. Yeah, it's a no-brainer for me. Yeah, hopefully James Coles will eventually fill that role for Sussex, which I'm excited about. If he does that, he's going to be a hell of a cricketer. 7, obviously, we've spoken about the keeping aspect. Obviously, I'm going to presume Jamie Smith isn't allowed because he's going to be, well, in a way, be playing a lot for England, isn't he? So if you want to, you're going to have guys who, play all 14 games. I mean, it's a tough choice, isn't it?
You're blessed with options, as you say.
Yeah, I mean, Jordan Cox could be one at Essex, Folkes, Robinson. I think I'm going to go Ben Folkes. So him and Dawson could swap 6 or 7.
Yeah.
However you want to look at that. So, yeah, so I'm focusing at 7. And then it gets down to the nitty gritty then, doesn't it?
Well, now, I mean, I'm waiting to see a Sussex teammate pop up in this team so far.
Be a couple. Might be I'm thinking 8. I mean, it's either Simon Harmer or Jack Carson as my alternative. Well, I mean, alternative spinner. I mean, Dorse's
It'd be pretty good from one end, wouldn't he?
Yeah, it'd be pretty good. Dorse's pretty good from one end, and then it's either Harmer or Carson. So I'm going to go with Jack Carson at 8. So there's one of my Sussex teammates. Obviously, going to back him for a big year ahead this year. And then my 3 bowlers, I'm pretty sure will have been mentioned a lot, are going to be Sam Cook, Ollie Robinson, and Dan Worrell. So I'd like to think I've got a pretty good basis of seamers, spinners, and batters.
I think, you know what, it looks like a pretty good team. Does look like a good team. The Sam Cook, Dan Worrell has been mentioned in both of the teams that have been made so far. That wouldn't surprise you, as has Liam Dawson as well. David Bedingham has had a mention as well. So I think not only, it must be, you're building a team here that you're kind of building a game for that you don't really play, but actually would do very, very well in real life. I mean, to think about the new ball options with Sam Cook, Ollie Robinson, Dan Worrell, the 2 spinners of Liam Dawson, Jack Carson, and then you've still got Ryan Higgins up your sleeve as well. If you wanted to throw the ball, ultimately you would throw the ball to Ryan Higgins. Why would you not? But
and then even Lurt Dupoy could bowl a bit of left arm spin. Sam Robson can bowl some leggies.
Yeah,
I mean, it gives you options, doesn't it?
it certainly does.
4 seamers, a lot of spinners, 7 pretty good batters.
Good luck. Good luck, whoever's coming up against this team. Who would I press you for as a captain? You can answer this 2 ways. You can either go for the most amount of points, and if that's the case, then I would guide you towards those all-rounders in the middle.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you're going for points, you'd look at either Dawson or Higgins, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
In terms of captaincy, I mean, a little bit controversial, is giving an overseas player the captaincy, but I think he's done a pretty good job when he captained South Africa. So, if I was being pressed, I'd probably give it to Dean Elgar.
Yeah, it's a superb team.
That would probably be the logical captaincy choice, but I mean, if I was going for points, I'd probably go Higgins or Dawson on that respect.
Yeah, absolute point machines on the cricket draft. John, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck this year down at Hove. We'll obviously all be watching. I'm sure there'll be people thinking about getting John Simpson in their cricket draft team as well. But thank you for your time and good luck.
Cheers, Dan. Thank you very much.